Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have George of the Jungle from 1997. Uh, 1997. It feels very 90s, by the way. It runs an hour and 33 minutes, and stars Brendan Fraser, as you can probably already tell. Um, this movie is based on the original animated series, which ran like only 17 episodes on Saturday mornings back in 1967. So yeah, it had a sort of a weird legendary cult following amongst kids. Growing up, I remember seeing it in reruns when I was little. Um, but yeah, this is the live action movie. There was a series also that was made at some other point, but this um, was the big motion picture experiment here. And yeah, it's not Shakespeare. It's not Citizen Kane. It's it knows that. It's so. I mentioned to somebody that I'm gonna be watching George of the Jungle yesterday, and they're like, "Ooh." I'm like, "No, I had not seen it before. Actually, before this moment. Actually, sorry. I had not seen it before this moment. I'd seen bits and pieces. I knew what it's about, and everything. But it was never something that if I did see it, I don't recall it. And it's there's there's no high concept in this. It's a Tarzan ripoff. It's a Tarzan parody. That's what it was created to be. Um, Way back when the guy created it. It's meant to be goofy and silly. It's a Tarzan who can't stick the landing. He just every he doesn't when he swings on his vines and yells out in a Tarzan like way. Um, in fact, when they do the description of his yell, it is Tarzan yell. So yeah, when he swings on his vine and does his Tarzan yell, he smashes into trees. Hey, watch out for that tree. It's part of the song, and so yeah, it's meant to be a comedic take on the iconic um, Edgar Rice Burroughs. My brain just completely erased the creator of Tarzan from my mind, but that might be it. But so yeah, it's meant to be a silly take on this, and Brendan Fraser, half naked most of the time, goes all out in being literally a cartoon character. This is just a slightly live action cartoon in how he pretends to fight with a lion in order to, I guess, impress the young woman played by Leslie Mann, the very young Leslie Mann. She's just this cute, brand new thing. She's just not thing. She's adorable in this, and she comes across as sweet and kind from the very beginning. And she seems like a perfect match for George, who is completely innocent and unaware of what human females even look like. Um, they never explain that he has a best friend named Ape, who is an ape who can speak. He's just says he is the most intelligent creature between the two of them. Let's just say the most intelligent creature in the entire jungle, in fact, and he's voiced by John Cleese from Monty Python fame. So yeah, there's a lot of great actors in this. Lots of great um, casting done for this thing. Thomas Hayden Church plays Leslie Mann. Leslie Mann's character is Ursula, Ursula's fiance, and he's a smug, rich, douchey kind of guy. He plays it really well. You'll remember him from Wings way back when, where he played a dummy mechanic kind of thing, um, or as the Sandman in Spider-Man 3, the first Spider-Man 3. Um, so yeah, he plays this smug, obnoxious, haughty. He treats people like garbage, especially the natives who supposedly only speak Swahili, and they understand him the entire time when he treats them like garbage, and they treat him like garbage back in little ways. So it creates a lot of good comedy there. It's again, this is meant to be silly. It is aimed at the 8-year-old and the 8-year-old in all of us who like poop jokes. There's fart jokes. It's it's not to be taken seriously in any way. And if you can realize, and they realize that, they put it right out there. There's moments where they look at the camera, they break the fourth wall. The characters interact with the narrator sometime. It's they know that this is not highbrow comedy. They know that this is not meant for anybody with distinguished tastes. This is just definitely just good, dumb fun. And there's tons of things to memify in here for the current generation, let's just say. So if you get a chance to watch this, I recommend it. It's weird. I didn't expect to, because maybe if I was in a worse mood, maybe if I was in a bad mood and I wasn't recovering from COVID, I might have gone, well, this is just not for me. Well, maybe it's not for me of my, my refined tastes. But if you can just laugh at dumb animal comedy, and of course the fish out of water story kind of thing when he's has to be taken off to America. He runs wild in San Francisco. So there's lots of humor to be had. And again, it is very kid focused. There are some racy bits. I don't know say racy, but let's just say Ursula and her friend, who she brings over to introduce her to George, well, they get a full-on sight of him. We don't, but they get an eyeful, let's just say, and they're just jaws on the floor kind of thing. So yeah, Brendan Fraser gets the best of both worlds. He gets to be super sexy, and he gets to be goofy and unassuming and sweet. And yes, every woman who happens to see him all just start drooling. They start having, yeah, it gets a little intense for some of them. But none of it is crude. It's definitely a movie that the whole family can watch. And I think parents, adults might get a little bit more out of it in some cases. But everybody can have a little bit of a chuckle out of the dumb, silly, slapstick humor that runs throughout. So, all right, my voice isn't completely back yet, but that's what it is. By the way, I want to mention there's also actors. Richard Roundtree plays one of the guides. Holland Taylor plays Ursula's mom. She's always a great, rich bitch kind of character. Yeah, there's a number. Keith Scott plays the narrator, and he's amazing. He's supposedly from Australia, but it's an American or a sort of a haughty American or British accent in a sense. But yeah, it's a great cast, directed by Sam Wiseman, and there's a sequel we'll eventually get to at some point. So yeah, it's a good time. It's not going to change your life, I don't think, but it's still fun. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
207.
Oh, geez, we almost had George of the Jungle 2. Holy cow, we just jumped right over it. Man, can you imagine? That would have been crazy. So, instead of George of the Jungle 2, which would have been 206, we have Get a Clue. I do not know what Get a Clue is, but that's what we're watching next. We're gonna get a clue on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.